This is not a tech review, so I won't be offended if you decide to just skip it and move on from this video. What this is just a regular person, in this case myself, purchased this phone with my own money, not sponsored. This is me just sharing my thoughts on this phone after spending 1 month with it. I have probably watched more than 100 reviews in 3 different languages before purchasing my own. So I thought maybe it would be useful for some of you to watch what I thought after spending some time with it. So let's start. Okay, so I think to start, I need to describe what type of user I am so that you can see if you can relate to that. I am someone who loves customization. So I am all about Android. I cannot deal with iPhone because it's all the same. My last Samsung phone was Note 8. I've also been using Pixel phones for work for the past few years. So I'm pretty familiar with the Android system. I'm also very familiar with the Samsung Galaxy operating system. I ran into this phone when I was in a shopping mall, just shopping for other things one day, and I played with it and I fell in love immediately. So I ended up just watching a ton of YouTube, reading reviews, and finally decided to pull the plug because this is the only phone currently that gets me excited about using my phone as more than just a phone. And the whole point of me buying this is, one, I am fascinated by this new technology, folding screens, of course. And two, I want to be able to carry something like a tablet on the go without carrying my other tablets, and be able to use it as a Kindle or as a big screen to watch videos, which I often do. I am also someone who embraces new innovations, technological innovations. I love new technology. I love trying them out. I am okay with taking the risk. I'm okay with things being glitchy. I am always the first one to get on beta stuff if it's available to me. I'm just really, in general, fascinated by new innovations, and that's why I got this phone. Okay, so with that out of the way, let me get to the point that I wrote down for what I thought about this phone. First of all, folding phones, right? The biggest concern from all of you, all of us, is durability. And I would say this phone, you have to go to a store, like offline store, to touch and feel it. It's extremely solid. It doesn't feel like it's delicate at all. It's high quality. And so far, I've been folding and unfolding every single day, tons of times. I don't feel like anything is falling apart, but granted, it's only been a month, so it's not like 2 years down the line. But I did watch a lot of reviews of people using their first generation Samsung Flip for a year, and it's still holding strong. Like, there's no problem with the screen. The hinge for that phone has a slight problem, so it becomes loose, but this phone is very different in this aspect of things, so it's unlikely that it's going to be a problem. And on top of that, just on the topic of durability, the battery truly lasts for a very, very long time. Even if I open the big screen and use it all day long, I could still get it to last for approximately a day unless I abuse it. So the durability in the sense of like the physical object and how long it lasts in terms of battery, both really came through. The other thing that I love about this phone is that it's 5G enabled and it's Wi-Fi 6 enabled. And I recently upgraded my home internet to Wi-Fi 6, which I love because I have way too many devices here at home, but all my other devices are just normal devices. This one actually shows you it's on Wi-Fi 6, which is so cool, and it makes the connectivity just so much faster and seamless. The whole experience has been amazing. The next one is the tablet functionality. I really do use this one as a tablet to read Kindle. I do a lot of reading on the tablet. See, my home screen is quite simple, and one of the key apps here is my Kindle. And I just use this phone to just read. You can read like this, it's so much lighter, or you can read like this, a little bit folded, which can be weird, but it's so much easier to hold this without compromising the screen size, which I'm just a huge fan of. I do own an iPad mini, which I use it solely for as a Kindle, and it's just not as light as this one. So I've been very happy about that. Just think about this device as a light little iPad mini tablet, but you can use it as a phone. How perfect. Okay, next one is the speaker and video experience. If you have seen other reviews, you probably have heard the speakers are on both sides of the phone. So if you hold it vertically, it's up and down, but if you open it up like this, it's left and right, and they are so loud. It's amazing. The other thing is just the ease of watching video when you have a flip screen, when you can just put the screen on the table and watch it here, or hold it like an iPad and watch it like this. I feel like once you're used to this, going back to a normal phone just feels so weird at this point to me, in terms of like the screen size and everything. So the last thing I'll mention on the love side is the camera experience. The camera is very multifunctional. You have 5 cameras. What? It's very functional for someone like me who likes to take a lot of photos of the scenery, the food, and of course myself. So you could use this phone as a stand. You can stand it like this, you can stand it like that, like that. You can use the front screen as a viewfinder when you take selfies like this. So it's just so versatile. I think the quality of cameras on those flagship phones for every brand nowadays is really good enough already. The minor differences that they upgrade to with each of the newer models is so marginal to me at this point that I don't really need it to be the highest end camera. This one has wide angle lens. You can capture everything. It's available for selfie, for normal camera, and for videos. It just has everything I need. So extremely happy with it. So a few cautionary tales if you were to buy this phone. I just have to say, this is pink. It's not mystic bronze, whatever that means. I think that is Samsung's way of naming rose gold, because look at my Fitbit watch strap. That's rose gold. They're the same color, same damn color. This is rose gold, and there's nothing wrong with rose gold. I love it, but I just have seen so many people, guys especially, getting this phone and be like, oh my god, it's pink. So if you're looking for a pink phone, yes, but if you're not looking for a color like this, get the black one. Moving on, the next one. This phone is heavier than any other phone out there, if I'm not mistaken. So it does feel bulkier when you're putting it in a small purse, which I often do. It just feels heavier to hold it. So if I hold this phone for a long time and I hold another phone, which is in really big size, this is the XL, this is so much lighter. But I think the trade-off here is you're trading off durability, sturdiness versus weight. And I would rather get durability and sturdiness. So I don't mind the weight, but it's not a light phone to carry if that's something that's critical to you. The other thing is scratches with those of you with long nails. I know the inner screen is soft. It's very different from those Gorilla Glass that we're used to on all the other phones. So this is something just to note, that if you have long nails, be careful. But this has been verified that if you just randomly scratch the phone with like your nail, for example, it's going to slowly recover on its own. Like it's going to have a dent and then the next day it disappears. So it's not like that delicate, but it's more delicate than all the other phones out there. So I think I really changed how I treat my phone after I started using this one. Back when I had this one as my primary phone, you see there are so many like fractures on the screen protector. I didn't care if it dropped. I was very careless. However, ever since I started using this phone, I became extra careful. Never drop it. It can be very slippery, especially when it's heavier. And I bought cases. I also put on some, you know, screen protector here and there just to make sure that I don't damage it with carelessness. That's the price that comes with owning a phone like this. And lastly, this outer screen is just a little bit too narrow for my liking, for sure, because nowadays my COVID way of using this phone is that whenever I go out, I actually don't open the folding function. Weird, right? So if I'm just going out for like a quick thing, I don't open it because I don't want to sanitize the inner part of this phone. It's more difficult to sanitize. I do have a UV lamp where I could just put this phone in and sanitize the other surfaces. So with that, I do everything on this screen, which is good enough, but because it's so narrow, the keyboards are really small as a result, and I often struggle typing the right thing. You really need to turn on autocorrect for this. Or else it's just such a struggle. And plus, this phone is also not waterproof. I mean, I think they're being extra cautionary when they say not waterproof. So I think like if you keep it folded and there's like a few raindrops on it, it's fine. I am comfortable holding this phone under like light drizzle sometimes, and it's totally fine. So I think overall it's just like, you know, the non-folding experience is not ideal. It's not like a normal phone where you just use it and it's like, it feels perfect, all the dimensions and stuff. This one just feels a little awkward. The aspect ratio is always off, especially for Instagram. I really don't love that about this phone, but otherwise, everything else has been pretty fine. But just to summarize, if cost is not a huge concern for you, because the biggest barrier to this phone is its cost. It's very expensive. But let's not consider that factor for a moment, then I would highly recommend this phone. It's so much fun. It's such a joy to use. There's so much novelty factor that you won't get bored with, and I just love it. So I want to spread the word and spread the love for this phone. Hopefully it gives you a good idea of the pros and cons of living with the Samsung Galaxy Fold 2. Okay, so that is it. That's everything I wrote on my list. This is my thoughts, quick review on my new phone, Samsung Galaxy Fold 2, after using it for a month. Hopefully it was helpful, and I will see you all next time.